Hello, it's John, and I've come for a little explore of Burn Aerodrome. And Burn Aerodrome was a World War II aerodrome, and they flew bombers out of here. And I just want to have a little explore around and see what's left, if anything, of the aerodrome. And I'm walking down a public footpath, and I'm going to have a really good explore about. And it'll be a nice walk on a dull morning. Catch you in a bit. So I'm walking down the public footpath, and I've come to this, which is obviously dating back to the aerodrome. Now, I've flown a glider from this aerodrome, or I had a lesson, what have you, and from the air it's a massive runway, and all the roads that go to the runway where bombers will have trundled along, and I think over in that direction is the main runway, and down this way is the glider club. Well, I'll have a walk down here and see what we can see. Well, look down there. Looks like there's a runway there. That goes to the gliding club. Now, I can't go on there because there's warning signs and no public access. So I'm not going to walk down there. Well, these wildflowers, they smell absolutely gorgeous. Well, you can see the width of this runway now. Or perhaps one of the outfield runways, and that's where I've just walked down there, and you don't realise how wide it is until you look from this direction. To think there'll be bombers on here makes a shiver go up back of me now. Got a very faded sign here, RAF Burn, and it looks like a picture of a Wellington bomber or something similar. Lest we forget. Well, I'll never forget. and we're also on the Transpennine Trail to Selby. And looking from where I have walked from, this must be where the bombers parked up, and you look this way, they've gone round this way or returned this way from the runway. It's absolute, as you would expect, it's absolutely massive. Just walking round the corner and hidden from sight because of the crops on the field. Look at this. I can't go on here. There's all warning signs up. But just look at this. I've driven by this place loads of times and you can't imagine this being here. I can't walk up here, I don't want to anyway. But look at the size of this. And if I just pan round, that is where I've walked from. Well, I'm still walking around the aerodrome, and on the taxiway you can see where all the weeds and everything have grown through. And if you imagine back in the 1940s, I doubt very much these trees would have been here. It's just amazing how things get overgrown. I'm looking back now on where those gliders were parked up near where the hangar and clubhouse is, and I've come up this taxiway and I can't believe it. Look at that, a flipping fridge been dumped. Right, I'm coming up to the runway here, or one of the 3 runways. And apparently the pilots used to like this runway, and they'd rev the planes up ready for takeoff, hoping that just over there on that tree line is the London to Edinburgh railway line, and they were hoping that they'd overtake the train as the train were going along the tracks over there where the cows are, and as they were taking off. Times never change. And that is one of the runways. It's absolutely massive, look. And just along here is the main railway line, and there used to be sidings where they used to bring a lot of the armaments in and supplies in. for the aerodrome along this line. And we've got a bench seat here, so that'll do for me to get my flask out and have a cuppa. Apparently it's about 3 miles round the perimeter of the airfield, and we've got a sign here, 578 Squadron, Battle of Berlin No. 4 Group Bombers, Halifax Bombers. And I've walked a few yards away from the seat, and here we are, some old World War II buildings that have been ploughed up. I'm continuing my walk from the ruined building, and I've just had my lunch and just been gazing across the aerodrome and thinking about those brave pilots and crew, and yeah, it's got a bit of an atmosphere. Anyway, this part of the taxiway they've made into the Trans-Pennine Trail, and I think that's blooming marvellous. I've seen 1 or 2 cyclists up and down here, and for some unknown reason I missed this part of the Trans-Pennine Trail when I did it, cycled it to Hornsey. I probably couldn't find it because I'll get lost anywhere. But I think it's wonderful they're making use of the old aerodrome for a good purpose as well. Marvellous. I've just been reading about a Halifax bomber that flew from Bern, and it were over its target, dropping bombs, and a plane must have been above it and dropped a bomb, and it went straight through the Halifax bomber. Anyway, it made it all the way back to Norfolk, got repaired, and came back to Bern. And it just goes to show how strong those aircraft were. Amazing. Just over there, where the tree is the old London North Eastern Railway, and there were railway sidings there which will have been full of bombs and all kinds of stuff. Just over here is runway 7. I think this is one of the shorter runways. Anyway, a Halifax bomber was flying down here, struggling to take off, and didn't take off. And he went all the way down here and straight into the railway sidings. The railway sidings were full of trucks full of bombs. The plane were fully loaded with bombs, and they managed to get away with it without an explosion. Could you imagine? Absolutely amazing, and that were down to the ground crew sorting it all out. And if we look here, now it says on here runway 33, which it is, because it's 33 degrees if you look at a compass that way. Now, if an aircraft takes off that way, it's on runway 33. However, if it sets off from the bottom of the runway there and comes this way, it's runway 7, because that's 7 degrees on the compass. I hope you understand that. But it's something I've learnt today. It's a little minefield of information, is this runway. Little signs around it, and you can pick up lots of history. Well, I'm back round to the car, and I've walked the full perimeter, over 3 miles I think it is, and when you just look across the field, you would never dream that there's a World War II aerodrome here. Unbelievable. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed my video and you found it interesting. I've had a fantastic day walking around and finding out little bits of information. There's little notice boards all the way around, and I've found it absolutely fascinating. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.